the little things have had a tremendous impact. We were just out for a walk the other night and we saw a blue light outside someone's house. I just looked at her and made a beeline and said, I gotta go thank them, because people don't realize how much that really means to me, my wife, and my family. We were touched by so many nurses, so many doctors, and the treatment that we had there was overwhelming. It felt like we were like a family. There were some really hard nights, and on those hard nights, they just picked us up and they told us like everything was gonna be all right. And if things weren't gonna be all right, they were honest with us. And me as a police officer, I want that honesty, and I want them to be clear that it's gonna be a really long road. Yeah, I've asked a couple of times, when can I get back to the PD? When can I be a cop again? When can I help people? The first doctor who worked on me has almost become a true friend. He's come into my room several times, and the way him and I look at each other, he's a great man, and I know he saved a lot of people, but I look at him and it's so amazing to be able to look at somebody else and truly look them in the eye and say, like, you saved my life. And he really has, and he's had a huge impact. And he not only, saved my life, but he saved a father, he saved a husband, he saved a son. And I hope he knows that. And I don't think they always get the credit they deserve, but I'm here to tell them they deserve the credit for sure.
I wasn't the one in the hospital bed, but they still cared so much about me. Everybody took so much extra time to make sure I was well prepared to go home and teach me everything I needed to know. And we're very, very grateful for the care that we had at Sanford.
To our Fargo Police Department, we came up here for a reason. I joined this police department for a reason, and that reason is exactly the situation we're in right now. I knew no matter what happened, they would always have my back, and they've proven that like overwhelmingly. When I was at the hospital, there was a police officer outside my door 24/7. And if my wife needed anything, even if she didn't need anything, if she just needed to feel safe, the Fargo Police Department was there. To add on to that, it wasn't always the Fargo Police. It was this whole metro area that has stepped up and been there for us, myself, Ty, everybody. And they have really been a rock in our life. And everybody has done everything that they can do. I couldn't imagine being at another police department, and I can't wait to get back to the Fargo Police Department because I don't want to be anywhere else. And I mean that wholeheartedly. The job is not finished for me at the police department. I've had a lot of people come up and say, after such like a traumatic incident, like, are you going to go somewhere else? Are you going to do something different? And I love smiling at them and looking and saying, like, this is what I've always wanted to do. Why would I do anything different? And what I'm really excited for and passionate about within the police department is the fact that before all this happened, I was actually assigned to be a school resource officer, a really new position for me, but it was so exciting for me because I've always told friends and family, anyone that'll listen to me, that kids are someone that I really feel like I can like have a tremendous impact on. I remember when I was little, that's something you remember for the rest of your life and can have a true impact on your life. A lot of kids have very difficult upbringings, and so if I'm the one person that can care about them, I can't wait to care. In addition to the SRO position, there's also the negotiation position that I earned several months back. I'm really looking forward to filling in that role. I've been on a couple call-outs, but I still have a lot of things to learn within that position. But I'm excited. I really find a lot of passion as well in talking with people and working with people in crisis. I'm on the crisis intervention team as well, and working with those people in crisis. That's something that really pushes me as an officer to figure out, hey, how can I help them long term and not just get them through tonight? Let's get them through the struggles that they might have long term.
I had always felt a calling to join the military. Even in high school, it was one of those things that got ignited in me and the flame never went out. And when we found out we were expecting AJ, that was something that I thought that was in that process, it was a dream that I had to give up. And Andrew supported me through every step of the process, and I'm not exaggerating. He was like, I will go do anything, I'll switch shifts, we'll make it work so that this can be a reality for you. And so without his support, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And So I had left for 4.5 months and got back about a month before this happened. So we were just readjusting to what was then transitioning to a new normal. But this is a big defining moment, you know. Things will be different going forward and our family will adjust. But I am excited for the day that I get to sit down and tell AJ what a hero his dad is, and to just know that his dad has done something amazing for the community to protect the city in which we get to raise AJ in, and that's such a blessing, you know. We've known each other since high school, so we kind of got to grow up together, and so the bond that we had going into marriage was stronger than normal, probably because we've just gotten to spend so much time together. And I'm just so thankful for every moment I just get to be with Andrew. We were joking the other day, he had to push me out the door basically to just run to Target, because it's I just want to spend every minute here and I just want to do everything that I can to help him, and I just love him so much that it's easy. It brings me joy to be here and to just sit on the floor and he sits on his chair, and we don't turn the TV on, we just listen to music and we just talk, and we just the companionship that this incident has brought us. We've gotten so close and we've gotten to spend so much quality time together. It's just solidified so much for me how much I love him and how much I just would do anything and forever. You know, it just is so easy and it's so joyful, and I love it. We're both really happy people. We always love to host and make people feel so welcome, but I don't want that to mask the fact that this has been a great suffering that the Lord has put on us. But to know so much suffering, we know that and so much more of peace. And so we really rest assured in God's peace and God's strength for us. When Andrew woke up, one of the first things he was able to write down was, "Where's Ty? Where's my recruit?" He wrote the same question a different way over and over and over. And before even asking how he's doing, before asking the details, he just was so concerned about Ty. And that speaks volumes to Andrew's character as an officer and as a training officer, you know.
The more I hear about the incident that happened on the 14th, the more I realize that I was really worried about Ty, but Ty crawled to me when he got shot. He crawled on his hands and knees to be there with me. And the more you hear about what Ty did, he's a real hero that day, because he made sure I got in the ambulance first, and he knew my injuries were pretty severe, and he said, "You go," and that's what a hero does. And so, yeah, I might check up on Ty because he's my recruit, and I the bond that you have with the recruit, especially in this situation, is something that I can't even put into words, but he cared so much about me too. And he's a 4-month officer, but he sure didn't act like a 4-month officer.
We've gotten cards and we've talked to people that have said they were at the street fair or their grandkids were at the street fair. And it's one of those things where I truly believe that people are alive today because of what Andrew did and the place that Andrew stood in so that nobody else had to. And so for that, we find peace in that, and we're grateful to be in this position, as crazy as it sounds, because we wouldn't want it for anyone else. So
I think it needs to be said that my wife and I, through this whole experience, have always just tried to be like a united front. We've had a lot of conversations with ourselves. We've had a lot of conversations praying to God and just finding guidance with that. And through all that, we don't need that body cam to answer any of our questions. We truly believe that there's evil in this world. We don't need to see that evil. But what I'll say is there's a lot more good than evil. And we've seen that time and time again. And watching that body cam, I think God would fill in some gaps that I might have. However, I don't need those gaps filled in. I know at the Fargo Police Department, I've been trained really well. And I know from everything that I've heard from Drew Wrigley, who's come in, he said, "Hey, you got shot, but you got right back up." And when I heard that, I don't need any more gaps filled in. I just need to know that, hey, I've been trained to do that, and I don't quit. When we hear that, the body cam and hearing the gunshots. I don't think our family needs that right now, and I know it's hard for the community to see that. And we're working through it kind of in our own process, and down the road that might be something that we look at. But right now we're just so hyper focused on healing our hearts, healing our bodies, healing our family, and that's our focus right now. This incident has been publicized widely, and I want it to be known that officers on a daily basis are going into situations that are unknown, that they may be overwhelmed with. My wife knows there's many nights in my career, and officers can attest to this as well, where I've come home and I've just looked up at the ceiling and it's overwhelming. And so to hear that people are coming, and our academy class of 10 people, not a single person dropped because of this horrible incident that took place, it's just such a reminder that people are ready to go into that situation. But it's also a reminder for me as a senior officer to just check on those officers, because it is a difficult job, and it's not your 9-to-5 job. It's a job that it takes a lot out of you, but it gives a lot back when you can be in those situations. And so just checking up on those officers and checking up on everyone within the department, and having a good support system, both in the department and at home. If I didn't have my support system, I can't even imagine where I'd be right now.
The support in the community that is behind law enforcement and their families has been amazing, and I'm just so grateful to be able to be a part of it. I've felt a lot of peace from that.